Vasco da Gama. Vasco da Gama was a Portuguese explorer who was commander of the first ships to sail from Europe to India. Vasco da Gama was born sometime between 1460 and 1469 in Sines on the southwest coast of Portugal. Little is known about Vasco da Gama's early life, but it is believed that he was a student of mathematics. On 8th July 1497, da Gama led a fleet of 4 ships with a crew of 170 men from Lisbon. The distance he and his crew travelled from Europe to Africa, India and back was greater than what it would have been around the equator. Da Gama's trip to India consisted of several stops along the way in Africa. He also encountered problems from Muslim traders who did not want any interference with their already profitable trade routes. He finally reached Calicut on 20th May 1498. At first, Vasco da Gama and his trading was well received, but this only lasted a very short while. The king ordered him to pay a customs tax as would any other merchant. This strained the relations between the two. Da Gama left Calicut on August 1498. His expedition beat all expectations after he brought in cargo that was worth 60 times more than the cost of the expedition. He also took with him hostages which consisted of a few Nairs and 16 Mukkuva fishermen. When Vasco da Gama arrived in Lisbon in September 1499, after having lost half his crew to scurvy, he received a hero's welcome and was rewarded well by the king. He was also bestowed with the title of Admiral of the Indian. On the 12th of February 1502, da Gama led the 4th Portuguese armada to India consisting of 15 ships and 800 men with the objective of enforcing Portuguese interests in the east. On this voyage, da Gama killed hundreds of Muslims, often brutally, in order to demonstrate their power. From this trip, he returned triumphantly with silk, gold and an established settlement. Vasco was sent to India again in 1524 to replace an incompetent viceroy. He contracted malaria not long after arriving in Goa and died in the city of Cochin on Christmas Eve. The state of Goa and the city of Cochin still exhibits the cultural influence of the Portuguese who landed as merchants and conquered these lands soon after. The Portuguese overseen territories of Goa existed for about 450 years before it was annexed by India in 1961.